This is just a little bonus work, you know. Um, when the rabbit were planting barbs to try to intimidate and insinuate, they had LAM who would say you were given enough clues. In other words, I was given enough clues what they and their partnerships were up to step forward and challenge them at a time when they could have done something quickly to silence me so that nothing got across. But by becoming public, as I didn't understand, they were satisfied that I was being set up for their joke, and they took a great deal of relish in impugning me for not understanding that when Gail burst and said, take away my eyes, sometimes I'd rather be blind. She was actually referring to Robert Fripp's Gertie of collection agency style, which goes around killing people and raping them and doing terroristic nut job poison crimes to people because they feel that they have been impugned in some offbeat way that pertains to the effervescence of their spiritual metabolism. And if you look at the actual burbulations of the psycho himself, this critter, John Lennon, he says things like, curse Sir Walter Raleigh, he was such a stupid git. What does that mean? He's referring to him as a name. Is he calling J.P. Getty a name? Well, Get was Get Smart. He must be calling John Paul Getty John Paul Getty Get Smart, right? He's calling him smart. Stupid Get, he's smart, you know. And you people, he says, here's another clue for you all. The walrus is Paul. Well, if you look at the packaging, you'll see that the walrus is not the one playing a left-handed bass. It's sitting at the piano, so his contempt, he's lying. You know, he calls himself a mocker, and people are supposed to be all pleased that he reintroduces German Schadenfreude to the fashion of the United States as part of the British invasion. Gee, that's higher. Well, mockery really wasn't the characteristic of this lone nut critter. It was contempt. You know, that's what you're supposed to get when he says, here's another clue for you all. The walrus is Paul. And you're supposed to think, oh, well, the people who think their clues are contemptuous. That's not what he's saying. People don't realize that the walrus is Paul or contemptuous because the walrus isn't one playing the left-handed bass. You know, you can't figure it out for yourselves. Look at the evidence. You stupid gets. So you look at this contempt, and you know it might have been John Paul Getty. You know, Michael Todd, who was given a resemblance in a picture of the coward Fripp and his young person's insinuator manual. Showed me the SVDBs and introduced me to Mount Milton Shop, you know, Siciliano Vesper David Bowie, SVDB is supposed to stand for in the skank, who attack children blindside and then call it a duel. Ain't that something? And one of them, you know, way back now, he's a Trumpy tune, you know. Michael Todd introduced me to shop, and there's this Pay Dolph, which is like Dolph. You know, here around here they spell Dolph, and it's like DOLF. You know, Dolph, Pay Dolph, Pennsylvania Dolph, Pennsylvania Adolf. You know, who would? I mean, I remember thinking he was a fat man, that little boy. And when I heard about the atomic nicknames, who would be able to come up with that stuff? Yeah, who would organize it? But Bloomfield, Elizabeth had this, you know, fort with all these little windows or ledges with many myriad. I guess it was an expensive toy that her rich artist parents, you know, they had a big vase in their cellar and stuff. I wasn't ever materialistic. I took one person from the other, you know. I wanted a roof over my head, sure, you know. But I wasn't instructed, you know, you should look at these women. Ooh, size up how much money they have. It didn't work that way for me. I was only interested in whether they liked me. If they didn't like me, then I didn't want anything to do with them. I'm not going to pursue somebody because they have money. I'm not one of these Trumpy tune women or something. And, you know, it smacks of this asshole Trump. There was Donald Finnegan was one of the first. He'd go like this. He's going to get big, real big guy, DF, you know, and they're laughing. The Daryl Fleming, you know, not telling the bar, violating my confidence when they tricked me in 302 me. You know, DF is symbols of failure, double fantasy, right? Below average, get out, you know, DF. Donald Finnegan, right? Finnegan, you know. I mean, that's the way it looks to me. You know, the guy who broke my sister's ribs was named Donald, you know. So they've got this namesake chain. And they say, oh, we'll take away your ears, you know. We'll rape your girlfriend. We're going to come and collect from you, you know. We're going to kill the Kennedys and force them to adopt you. So you get the idea how we feel about those immigrants. I mean, who is this corpulent putz bag?